Now, so we'll start wherever you want, doesn't matter. And we're going to do on the bottom, and we're going to do on the top. Okay, so you need lots of paint for this. You roll it through and you get lots of paint, and then you pull up, and pull it over so that it looks like it's falling over to the left and falling over to the right. If your paint won't come off, just put some water on your brush and tap it off a little bit so it's not dripping, okay? And then pull through again your colors and pull up, up, up. And you're going to need lots of these, so it might take a bit of patience. I could fast forward if I wanted to, just because I'm only doing the same thing over and over. But you know something, I enjoy letting you see everything that I'm doing because I make mistakes and then I can show you how to fix them. And like that one there is too big, right? So I'm just going to go over that a little bit. So if I want to fix that, I can, if it's too thick, I can go into my green and a little bit of black just to darken it up. And I can go back over that and put some darks in there instead. You can have some darks in there too, because then that will bring out the light colors, okay? So I'm just going to throw in some darks. I'm going to pull through some green and some brown. I'm going to pull through some, I need more water. See, you need lots of water. Don't want it to drip too much like that, right? So just tap it off. A bit of brown and a bit of green. And pull up, pull up, pull up, to the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, straight up. Let's go through green and red and brown. Green, red, and brown. And just see what that does. Oh, that's nice. Let's go through some yellow now to mix in with that. Keep your brush dirty, because that way you'll get all kinds of colors. All right, if your paint won't move, just get some more water, and here we go. So just keep doing that. Good. Just keep putting on your grasses. We'll keep putting them on. The more you put on, the thicker it looks and more realistic or prettier, whatever you want to call it. So let's get some more on here. As much as we can. Let's add some white to it this time. So keep adding some different colors. Just some yellow and white, maybe even a bit of red. Let's just play around with some colors. Okay, there we go. You might say, well, how do you know what colors to put together so they won't turn to mud? Well, I'm going to do a video on how to mix some colors. And because some people, when you look at videos, they ask for raw sienna, burnt sienna, dioxide, I can't even pronounce it, purple, you know, different colors that you don't have. Not everybody has them. I mean, not everybody can afford to go out and buy a ton of paints to keep up with all the colors people use, but the most popular ones, the ultramarine blues and the burnt umbers, raw sienna, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, all these paints can be mixed. You can mix them yourself, and I'm going to do a video on how to mix these paints so that you don't have to run out to the store or think that you can't do a painting because you don't have certain colors that are in books or that are in on videos. So I'll show you that in the next video, and then you can do as many paintings as you want, because using just plain green or plain yellow makes your painting a little dull, you know, if you don't add other colors to it to brighten it up or to make it look more realistic. Like if you add green on the grass, it can be just plain green on the tube, and it looks kind of flat and boring. So if you add some red to your green, you'll get a really nice earthy green. If you add some blue to your green, it darkens up your green. It gives interest, and playing with your colors. And if we keep putting on some of these, as many as you want, okay? So thicken them up as much as you can. Keep going back and forth and getting paint. You'll see I'm going back. Every time I leave the canvas, I'm picking up paint, right? Every time. Some dark ones underneath to keep it, some shadow colors underneath to bring out the lighter color ones. So we can just bring out some darks like that. All right, so and then we go back with some light ones and dark ones. Now you don't want to mix your darks with your whites too much, so just put on mostly the light color ones first, and then maybe after you can bring in some darks, or you can do it the other way. You can do the darks first and then bring the lights over. So let's go with this. I'm not going to do very many more, but you can do as many as you want, okay? Because my video, it'll get too long and it'll get bored. I don't want that. So let's just go with that. It can be prettier, but you're going to take your time and you're going to put in lots of these. Don't forget, keep going back and forth with paint. Go back and forth with different colors. Put the brightest ones on top. Probably put the brightest ones last when you're getting close to being finished, okay? Put the brightest ones last and make sure your dark ones are in the background. Whatever works for you, okay? There's no rules. So just keep going. Going. There we go. I'm just throwing in some yellow and white, some green. I'm doing the yellow and white because I want to let you to see what I'm doing. Because I don't want to be too dark. If I darken them up, it's hard to see. And some of my videos, the paint's a little dark, so you think the video's dark, but actually it's because the paint is a bit dark. Now, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to put the flowers on. Now, like I said, you can take your time and do it really, really nice, okay? So we got some nice grass going on there. So let's put on some flowers. So you can have any kind of flowers you want. You can have sunflowers. You can have daisies, whatever you want down there. But I'm just going to show you a quick way to put on some quick flowers. So here we go. So let's get a flat, I'm trying to pronounce it, bristle, there we go. A flat bristle brush, and open up your, now this is for just tapping on your flowers, but if you want to make a daisy, or you want to make different types of flowers, then you can use different brushes. But for now, we're going to add some red to our brush. Red, a little bit of white, okay? And just tap, just one tap, just tap like that. Just one tap. Don't go and you know, this is for these kind of flowers, okay? So just tap, tap, tap. All right. Tap, tap. Now, we're not going to do all red flowers. We're going to do all colors, but I just want to show you tap. All right. So now say you want to add a bit of blue to that red if you want to, and then some white. You get different color flowers. There. It depends on how many flowers you want and what kind of flowers you want. Just put a few on, just tap, just touch, and your brush will do all the work for you, okay? Your brush will do all the work. Just put a few little ones as if they're growing up around the fence. Maybe some bundled together. These little families of flowers. And some pure white will give you some nice bright ones that will stand out. Pure white, you can keep your brush dirty if you like. All right, and some little one. If you're going to go with some little ones, just touch very gently. The more gentle you touch, the nicer you get. So that's a few flowers there. Like I said, I'm not going to. There we go. And some yellow flowers. Always nice yellow flowers. I just got pure yellow because my brush is dirty, so you can put some yellow flowers in there. Anything you want at all. And like I said, if you want to have a sunflower, you can put on a yellow, like say a sunflower. So let's just put that in there and just tap around that. Just tap it so that it got a little bit of a shape there. And then you can take your back of your brush and you can put a brown in the center. A little bit of brown. Oops, sorry. My hand jerked over. Oh, no. Okay, no big deal. I'll just put some yellow back on that in a minute. All right, so then we'll just put some brown in the middle of that and just wipe it off. Don't need to do that. It's just from doing a video. I'm trying to get this done for you. So you just do your little petals. So this is, I'd use this brush, a nice small round brush, if you want to do a sunflower. So you got some yellow. You can even put a little bit of white in there if you want. And make your sunflower as best you can, because I know they're kind of tiny. And then take the back of your brush and just dip it into some brown. And just make your little center. And then you can just dip it into a little bit of red and yellow. And give it some little tops here. Anyway, so you make your sunflower. You look up a sunflower and just make your little daisy. I'm sorry, your your sunflower, whatever way you want. Sunflowers have a little bit of shadow in them, don't they? They have a little bit of, I use a little bit of red and brown and orange, yellow, and make a few little shadows. But this video is about doing a farmhouse landscape, so I don't want to get too much into the flowers, right? But you know, you can also just, if you want to make a daisy, same thing. It's just putting it. You can put your center in first, put it in here, and then you can take your liner brush and take some white with a little bit of shadow color. And it's probably a dirty brush now, and you can take make some daisies. Just pull them in. Pull in these little lines, something like you did with your sunflower. So you know, just put in whatever kind of flowers you want. If you want a more realistic, you can use your small brush and make your flowers that way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the fence post, and then I'll finish that up. And you put your farm animals on, your little bird if you want to, like explained. And you just paint your bird blue and white, whatever color, because that's up to you what kind of bird you want on there. If you're having a problem with your putting a little bird on there, a little chickadee or a bluebird or whatever, if you have a problem, email me and I'll do another video on how to paint the bird. And I can either do it in this painting or I can do it separate. I'm planning on doing a video on farm animals, so I'll make them bigger so you can see them, because if I put them in there now, you only see little dots. So I'm going to do that separately for you. But you go ahead, look up the farm animals, trace them out, or draw them freehand, and size them the way you want them. It's a bit of work, but that's the way it is when you're painting. You have to work hard for something that's good. So just a little bit of highlight on here and here and here. I'm just trying to figure out where the sun is. Make sure the sun is on the right coming in on your fence post. Now, if you make too much, you can drag on some more. And if you make too much, we'll just go back and put some of the darks in. I'm just scraping on some right now. Just scraping it on. Just scraping it on any old way, because I want some highlights there. So I'm just going to go back with my black and brown, and I'm going to fill in then some of the spots that I want to cover up to make it look like old rough wood. Okay, that's it. Now I'll do the house last. I forgot about the house. Anything else, little touch-ups we need, we'll do that. Alright, so we'll just get that fence post back to normal. See how I didn't go over all the yellow? I scraped it on, made a bit of a mess, and now I'm going back and straightening up and cleaning up my edges. So make sure that you realize that just because you put on some paint, that means finished. You can go over this a dozen times, right? You want to get that rough look. What I'll probably do is do some videos on individual subjects, and that way I can concentrate mostly on just that subject. Like if I do old wood or an old house, just do only those subjects. And if there's any subjects that you would like to see me try and show you how to paint, use my tips and tricks and whatever I can think of, you can email me at allisonpryor@yahoo.com and let me know. Or you can make a comment on my video and say, well, you know, I really like for you to do a video on a fence post. Or, you know, I'm getting to as many as I can. I do have some people have already requested some videos, and I've done a lot of them, but I have to catch up, and then I'll still write yours down and get to them as soon as I can. I think individual, like fence posts or a tree or an apple or something, is a lot faster and easier. When you try to do a whole painting, you're trying to do it so that it doesn't take too much time, but yet there's a bit of work to it. And I want you guys to learn lots and lots and lots. Alright, so here we go. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to finish off our little house. So I'm just going to take a small flat brush, and it's a bristle brush. You can use bristle or sable for this. And we're going to highlight that house. So all we need to do is get a bit of white paint on our brush, and we're going to scrape. I'm wiping it off a little bit, so I don't want too much on there, and I'm going to scrape down. See where the bristles are rough, they'll give you that rough textured look on the front of the house. There we go. So that's that. That's simple. And then I'm going to take some black paint on my brush, and I'm going to make door. Touch and pull. There's your door. So if there's anything else that you want to do with the painting, there's tons of stuff you can do, obviously. I mean, I could go over these here again. I could put more flowers in. I could go over the fence posts with more paint. But like I said, I think I'm going to do that separately for you. I'm after spilling paint on my painting, so if you see anything there odd, it could be just a mistake. So I'm just going to take a little bit of yellow, and I'm just going to tap on where I made some mistakes here. Now if I can get another video done on the farm animals and things, but I'm going to try to do that separately, like I said, and do them big enough so you can see it. If I put them in there now, it's just going to look like blobs. So take my tips that I told you about, drawing them out and then tracing them. When you get a really good drawing, trace it out on your canvas here, and you can always go back and do highlights, do all kinds of things. We don't have a little path in there. I just noticed that. So the little path would be a little bit of brown and a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow. So let's just make brown, red, and yellow. And just scrape in a little tiny path. It's buried in the grass because this is really old. Nobody's been there for a long time. Alright, so just put in a little path that nobody's been on in a long, long time. And if you fold it up, just take your brush and a little bit of green and yellow and tap on there so it looks like, oops, okay. So just take your brush and again and a bit of yellow. It's probably where it's wet. It's picking up the brown. Alright, so it's too green, just pick up only yellow. Yellow, and tap it in to get your highlights back on there. A little bit of grass going down the side here. Getting on the path. The straight and narrow path. Alright, so that's it. I think I'm going to leave that because there's lots more you can do. There's tons and tons of things you can do. But I'm just going to leave that for now. And you guys go ahead and try that painting. Make this one much nicer. Look at my other. Here we go. That's better. The skinnier lines. And a little bird. And some farm animals. So have a look at this picture. But don't try to get it exactly like mine, okay? Just do your own thing and have some fun. If you got any questions, give me a holler. So you guys have a great painting day, and I'll see you in the next video.